It's part of the marriage vow that millions of us take all over the world. We're saying we will love and cherish one another till death do us part.
You so deeply cherish your relationship with your wife. We have seen marriages that they stay married, but basically they live as roommates. Husband wife. Husband does his thing, he has his man cave. Wife does her thing, she goes out with her girlfriends, she tends to the kids, she tends to the house, and it's almost like they live two completely separate lives, and it's kind of almost like a business partnership more than a marriage. And I see that you and Chelsea truly have a commitment to one another where you cherish one another as husband and as wife. And so can we talk a little bit about just the idea of just cherishing one another in the marriage relationship?
Sure. I think that that's so important to cherish one another, and in fact, it's part of the marriage vow that millions of us take all over the world. We're saying we will love and cherish one another till death do us part. And the love part is something that we hear about all the time in sermons and songs. And to love is to overlook someone's faults, to put them first, to be patient, to be kind. But the cherishing part is something that I don't hear a lot of sermons on. And if you look in the scriptures, you find this book that is embarrassingly wonderful, that you don't hear many sermons on, and that is the Song of Solomon. I've always laughed and said that's the book of the couple that cherishes each other so much. We sort of wish that maybe it wasn't in our children's Precious Moments Bible,
Right.
because we don't want them to discover that too early. But in that relationship, you see a couple who is cherishing each other, and I like to say that there are three characteristics that really leap off the page when you read their love story. And number one, their cherishing love is exclusive. I mean, they're not sharing it with anybody else.
Hmm.
We live in a culture where we have these open relationships and sort of, the sexual revolution of free love everywhere. And now we're redefining so many things with regard to romantic love that I think it's a shame, because you read that story between that shepherd and that maiden and you say, wow, that's the kind of relationship I would love to have with my spouse. It is so exclusive. It is sacred. It's holy. I mean, they speak about one another in such exclusive terms. You'd think there was nobody else living on the planet when they were saying these things to each other, sort of like Adam and Eve. When Adam saw Eve, he must have been just in shock, awe, and wonder. I mean, all he had seen prior to that was a bunch of sheep and goats and animals, and all of a sudden, here's Eve. And the thing that made it so beautiful, I think, is that she was the only woman on the planet for him, literally, and he couldn't have been happier. He wasn't comparing, and either was she. And I think that we need to get back to a view of a cherishing love in marriage that is exclusive. And that's where the magic is. That's where the beauty is. You also see that their cherishing of one another is expressed in the words that they use for each other. They're constantly speaking of one another's qualities, those inner qualities that don't fade with time, but that get richer and deeper. Their what kind of a person they are, their character qualities, their faith, and then they also compliment one another with funny words. You see them talking about, your hair is like a flock of goats descending from the hills of Gilead, and your teeth are like sheep just washed in the river. And, you just almost laugh when you read their story and how they take every opportunity that they can to cherish each other. And their relationship's very romantic. And so, cherishing one another is something that Chelsea and I have been fascinated to learn more about. And it's been so much fun to practice these biblical principles of cherishing each other. And I think that it keeps a marriage alive and exciting.
Homeschool Insights is sponsored by CTC Math. If you're looking for a great online math program, visit ctcmath.com and try it for free. For more great homeschool inspiration and resources, listen to the Schoolhouse Rocked podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.